In today's video, we're doing a burn off on a Masterbuilt Gravity Series smoker. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue, Wisconsin, and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. In today's video, I'm doing a burn off on a Masterbuilt Gravity Series smoker. And I might be coming into this party a little bit late, but I said, hey, I gotta pick up one of these because it sure does look cool. And doing a burn off is very important because you wanna make sure that you burn off all that machining oil and those impurities that are part of the manufacturing process. So grab a bag of charcoal in your lawn chair, Len. We're gonna do a burn off on a Masterbuilt Gravity Series smoker. In today's video, we're doing a burn off on a Masterbuilt Gravity Series, and that means we're gonna be using some charcoal. Now, I've told you before that I love cooking with charcoal, so I'm excited to get this thing burnt off. Now, I didn't do an assembly video on the Masterbuilt, but if you go ahead and check this card above, it'll take you right over to Tom Horseman, and he does an excellent job of putting this rig together. And if you follow his channel, he does a lot of mods on it also. But make sure you come back and watch the rest of this video because I'm gonna teach you how to do the burn off. Now, Masterbuilt has brought the gravity-fed concept, but made it more affordable for us backyard barbecuers. Now, I've always wanted a Stumps gravity-fed cooker, but Masterbuilt has put this more in the normal average backyard barbecuer's price range. I got this for under $500. Whoa. Now, let's be honest, this thing isn't built to the quality of a Stumps cooker or a Myron mixing gravity fed. Now, I have seen a couple people purchase a stainless steel insert and put it in that charcoal chute. That's gonna make sure that it lasts a little longer because the walls in that charcoal chute, they do take a lot of stress from the heat of that charcoal burning. All right, so what am I waiting for? Let's go ahead and get the Masterbuilt fired up. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove these intakes. Now, the bottom one pulls out a little stiffer on this rig at least. Top one comes out real easy. Now, if you can see on the camera, these are drilled out and they're slotted so they can actually go ahead and hang right off the table. Just like that. You can hang them right here for a quick storage. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and open up our hopper lid. That opened up, and our hopper ash door. Now, today I'm just using some Kingsford Blue for this burn off, but we'll go ahead and we're gonna fill it up about halfway. It's a little over half. All right, so there's multiple things that you can use to light up this charcoal hopper. You can use a piece of paper towel, a little bit of vegetable oil on, stick it in those rods and have it hang there and light it that way. You can use a wax cube from Weber's, but from what I've heard from a couple of my friends, that the wax cubes tend to break apart and they'll fall right into the ash bucket. And you can also go ahead and use a tumbleweed, and that's what I'm gonna use today to light this up. Now, these are a little bit bigger, and I have seen some other people use these little discs, but I can't find them anywhere around by me. So if you know about them, let me know. Now, we're gonna have to kind of just push. The thing that I don't like is that it breaks all apart, you know? And I've seen a couple other guys have the same issue. They're too mushy. Go ahead, get her lit up. Now, I do have another toy coming real soon that'll make this lighting a lot easier. It's kind of like a gun, something that Rammstein might use on their videos. All right, so now let's get this turned on. Just hit the power button, go over into our temp, and we're just gonna turn it to 250 degrees. Now set a timer for like 2 minutes because we wanna make sure that that fire starter starts igniting all those coals. All right, our 2-minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and close up these hoppers. This tumbleweed is burning pretty good, and I thought I heard a little bit of chirping of that charcoal getting lit, so yeah, I can hear it crackling. Let's close up our ash hopper door. And as you can see, we're starting to get some good smoke out of here. Now, after this burn off, I'm gonna put a piece of aluminum foil on top of this. All these gravity feeds end up eventually building up a lot of creosote on here, so just put a piece of aluminum foil on it. It'll make your cleanup a lot easier, trust me. I've seen a lot of gravity fed cookers, different styles, and they all put that aluminum foil and they use that trick because the creosote gets pretty thick on there. So take advantage of that. Go ahead and close up our lid. And now we're gonna hear that fan kick in. And as we can see, the temperature's starting to rise, so this thing is doing its job. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start a stopwatch, and we're gonna see how long it takes to get to that 250 degrees. I'll check back in with you then. Okay, so it's only been 7 minutes and this thing is closing in on that 250 degrees. You can see it's running at 246, 247. Now when you first start this up, there is gonna be a lot of billowing white smoke coming out of it. Obviously, we're doing the burn off, so it's also starting to burn some of them impurities and that oil that's left from the manufacturing process. And this thing was heavily coated with machining oil. Trust me, I had it all over myself when I did the assembly. So don't be surprised that you're gonna have to get some paper towels to clean up your hands when you're doing the assembly part of it. So now set a timer for 1 hour because we're gonna let this Masterbuilt burn at 250 degrees for 60 minutes. Now today's video is sponsored by Wine Still Sold Out, or WTSO. And over at WTSO's website, they get wines across the globe, and they're getting new bottles daily. And the thing that I like to do is check out their different types of shopping options. They got last chance wines, weekly tasting, and premium selections. And if you use my promo code BBQ20, you're gonna save yourself $10 on any purchase of $50 or more. And that promo code lasts until December 31st, 2020. Now it's a beautiful day out, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to grab a bottle of Sancerre. And a lightly chilled bottle of Sancerre is perfect while you're waiting for this burn off. So what are you waiting for? Head over to WTSO's website and get your own bottle of Sancerre. You'll thank me for it. Trust me. All right, our 1 hour timer went off. Let's go ahead and turn the Masterbuilt up to 400 degrees. But I'm gonna use my app to do it. And the Masterbuilt is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth controller. So I already did all the setup and downloaded the app. You can just go to the App Store and get the correct one for you. All right, so we're gonna hit connect. We're gonna press remote, and let's go ahead and adjust the temperature up to 400 degrees. There we are. Set temp. Now you're gonna hear the fan go on, and then we're gonna go ahead and set our timer for 30 minutes. Set the timer. And now we're gonna watch and see how long this actually takes to reach that temperature. Wow, that was pretty fast. It wasn't even a minute and it got up to that 400 degrees. Now that's pretty impressive if you think about it, because if you're doing other types of grills, it takes a lot longer than 1 minute to raise that temperature 150 degrees. So once this 30-minute timer goes off, we're gonna cool it down and start the seasoning process. All right, let's go ahead and open up this bottle of Sancerre. And now it's time for the moment that we've all been waiting for. Not a bad pop. I better take a good poke of this Sancerre. Wow, this Sancerre Sauvignon Blanc, I should have got 2 bottles. Okay, so our 30-minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and cool down the Masterbuilt, because now we're gonna go ahead and spray in some canola oil inside that cooking chamber. And while this is cooling down, we can do a quick little walk around. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is just open up the lid so we can get this to cool down inside the chamber a little bit. Now you do have a kill switch there. You also have a kill switch right here on the charcoal chute. And you got another one right down here in the corner. And when you open this one up, it's gonna shut the fan off. Now how this is working, here's your intake PDI fan. It blows up through here, and we pull those slots out. It comes up and then back through. There's vents on both sides of this heat deflector, so it pushes it out to the sidewalls of the chamber. Okay, so around on the back, we have the actual vent. Now, this is where all your smoke is coming out. Now, I am trying to get my hands on a Tom Horseman vent cover. We'll see if I can make that work. What do you think, Tom? But he is right. He says in one of his videos about how this is wide open. And being that I'm up in Wisconsin and dealing with the climates that we have, rain, snow, sleet, it is a good idea, and I've seen other people do it too, that they're covering up that vent. Because that just seems to be a way that all kinds of rain and snow is gonna come in on your cook. Well, I don't want that. Now I have also seen other people starting to build mods. They're making stainless steel chutes that are coming through here because they say It's just a matter of time, and that's going to be rusted out. Now, I keep my cookers in a garage so they don't really see a lot of outdoor weather unless I'm cooking with them. So I think I can get a little bit more time out of this standard chute that the Masterbuilt Gravity Series comes with. Now, I'm not going to grab these grates, but they have a sear side and they have a smoke side. So if you're smoking, you'll flip them over. They're ribbed edges on the top. It only comes with 2 shelves, but you can buy 2 more shelves and put them in so you can have 3 layers of cooking. For me, most of the time, 2 layers is going to be enough. Now, these seem to be okay casted grates. I haven't seen a lot of people start talking about how theirs have cracked yet. Who knows? It's just a matter of time and somebody will post it. Now, I will say that this controller, I'm pretty impressed with it. When I just ran that half an hour at 400, it went up to 403, down to 397. So it had a 6-degree fluctuation. That's really good. But of course, that's using the ambient temperature from the grill itself. We'll see. I'll throw my ThermalWorks signals in there and we'll see how accurate it really is. Now, for my last step, I'm gonna go ahead and start seasoning up that cooking chamber. Honestly, I do this at least every 3 or 4 cooks. I like to spray a little canola oil in my cookers because it does make cleanup easier. So we're just gonna start spraying this down. Now it's gonna steam up because I didn't bring it all the way down to cold temperature. But let's get her covered. Side walls, bottom as best you can down there. Get the top, get the back by the vent. And then we're also gonna wanna get the lid. I'm going to close up the lid and also close up that ash hopper door. You'll hear the fan come back on, and then I'm going to go ahead, hit the temperature, we're going to lower it down to 350. And then we're going to set a timer for 1 hour and let this cook at 350 degrees, and then we'll come out and do the shutdown process. A guy really doesn't have to do much when you're doing a burn off on this cooker. Sit and drink. Swat flies. Honestly, I think this is going to be a fun little cooker. Masterbuilt took the big, heavy-duty, expensive gravity feds and made them into an affordable, reasonable backyard barbecue purchase. And as I get to learn this cooker, I'll share more things that I learned with you. Oh yeah, I'm easily going to drink this whole bottle. Without a doubt. And I'm going on Baseball Barbecue's podcast tonight. Sorry, fellas. Now, one thing that I didn't show you, there is a probe that comes along with this. Just one, 4 slots, but just one. Now, there is a little rubber grommet that you can stick it through. So that's kind of a neat little thing and a nice little option that it's not just a hole. And also that little port right there is going to be for a future rotisserie. Masterbuilt has dominated for years in the gas and electric smokers. Now, they do have a pellet smoker, and I think it's a little weird when you see their commercial and they say, pellets are for rabbits. Now, I think it's a pretty funny commercial, and maybe they're slowly moving away from the pellet grills. So, if you got a pellet grill, sell it now and buy yourself a gravity-fed charcoal smoker. Now, one thing that I see myself doing for a longevity for this cooker is that I'm gonna take the charcoal out the next day after it's done cooking. Charcoal in that chamber is obviously gonna absorb moisture, and that's gonna lead to rusting. And that's going to lead to failure. Unless I get that 304 stainless insert, and if you make it, send it to me. I'll do a video for you. Can go ahead and use lump charcoal in this also. And that's a great feature. The grate, I think, is an issue because I think a lot of that lump will fall right into that ash pan right away when you dump it. Now, I did see Tom Horseman cut a grate apart and use those rods just held by friction and put that to hold that charcoal so some of that won't fall through as easy. That's not a big deal if you take that ash pan out right away and just dump it back on top. I should have invited Dale over here. We'd be wasted by now. All right, our 1 hour timer went off. Let's go ahead and get into the shutdown process of the Masterbuilt Gravity Series. And there really isn't much to the whole shutdown process. But I wanted to show you through that intake. That's where all the heat is, going right through that channel. We'll also take a little bit of a look inside and see what it's looking like. Yeah, she's starting to get a little bit. Looks like she's a little runny, but we'll coat it up some more. Every cook will splash a little bit of canola oil on it, and it'll be fine. It's not a perfect seasoning job, but It works. All right, so our first step is just to turn off the controller. Next, you're gonna wanna go ahead and put your intake slides back in, and the bigger one goes on top, and make sure that the handle's facing the right. Top is right here. Slide it through, close it up. Bottom, same thing, close it up. And now we'll close up the lid and just let it sit for a while. Let it cool down. We'll check that charcoal tomorrow. Don't put that cover on until it's 100% cooled down. And from what the little bit that I've seen with this cooker working, I'm excited to actually get some protein in there. Hey boys, run in the house and grab my cell phone. This job was so easy, I gotta call up Dale. I still got wine to drink. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become a subscriber. Turn on that notification bell because you don't want to miss my next video. I mean, I know you guys don't. And I don't think you guys do either. Now, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. What is it, a block party? Get out of there, fly. Sit on my lens. All right, so damn these flies. I'm gonna have to get some type of fly killing stuff to put in here. These flies are just so attracted to everything in here. It's just crazy. It's not the flies that they're not landing on me. They're landing on my camera. Dumb things. What's wrong with DDT these days? I don't work anymore. This burn-off could be... Get out of here. Why do they have to land on there? Go on that camera. We're not recording on that one.